Now we should have audio. Problem is, you see, all these USB-C ports look exactly the same. So do all the cables when you don't label them. Like this one right here. See if I can get this in camera. Who knows what this one connects to, but it isn't the microphone. That much we do know. All right. Let's get on with this. How's everyone doing? Hope you had a good weekend. Gonna be doing something here. Gonna be creating a new Mac OS, well, multi-platform SwiftUI app, actually. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start this from the very beginning here. This is probably gonna be a project. It's gonna be worked over time. So we're gonna work this as we go. So let's go in here. We're gonna do a multi-platform app, and just gonna go next. For the time being, I don't have a final name for this yet. It's just an idea I've been kicking around, and I think to myself, just thinking like, I'll give it a name for now. We'll see how it goes. So we're just gonna call it blog it. Gonna be an adaptation of something that I've worked on in the past and have a huge list of things I want to do better and never get around to it. So this is my commitment to making my own app here that gonna work on it over time, and you can all hold me responsible for it. So there you go. Not sure yet. We're not going to include tests or core data or anything else like that. I'm going to work that as we go, because I think for some of you, you'd be interested to see what do you do if you've got an app that doesn't have tests and core data and all that kind of stuff, and you bring it in as you need it. So that's what we're going to do here. I want to keep this nice and simple to start with. All right, so I'm just going to create this on my desktop here. There we go. Make this window slightly very much larger. How about that? All right, there we go. Hopefully the code's going to be big enough for you all to read it. We'll just let it fire itself up here. Hope everyone's having an awesome weekend. I put the Christmas decorations outside today. It's officially December, so you know we're there. Just send a quick message to the chat. Make sure all that's working. My best English Texas accent right here. There you go. All right, so got all that working here. Now I think here's the thing, right? So this is going to be multi-platform. We got iOS, right? We can see it right there, and we've got Mac. Question is, which one do I start for? Do I work on the UIs for first? And I'm going to go with Mac, I think, because I just want to get a basic UI in place with sort of no hassles, no frills. And then I want, hey, Cocoa Type to be fully English Texas. Wouldn't it need to be something more like Cheerio? Well, no, see, Cocoa Type, gotcha, because Cheerio is goodbye. Unless you want me to just stop the stream right now, buddy. Hey, I'm all for that, but then you'll have to pick up and carry on. So I think you probably want something like, I say, good day. How about that? Good day, y'all. There you go. That's as close as we're going to get to it. I'm not going to touch it any more than that because I don't want to offend multiple countries. All right, so we're going to go to the Mac. So here's the idea, right? And what I'm going to do is very basic, very simple UI just to get started on something here, and some text entry fields, and then we'll take that, start to work on the business layer. My feeling is, the business layer really needs to be the part that's cross-platform. The data source probably going to end up being in the cloud, something like that, and then that data source can provide, to both the UIs for iPad, iOS, and the Mac. Before you say it, the watch, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Maybe. But either way, the idea here is UI is going to be different, for every platform. tvOS. I knew. See, I said watchOS because I thought to myself, if I don't say watchOS, someone's going to say watchOS. What I do? I completely forgot about tvOS. it actually brings up an interesting question. Has anyone done tvOS apps? Does it enter your head to do one? What about you, Coco Type? Have you ever thought about having your apps? Nope. And Nicholas, hey Nicholas, how you doing, buddy? Says no as well. And without getting into it, and we can have this discussion in the chat room here. The tvOS shows massive amounts of promise that Apple has yet to really capitalize on. Pretty much like the watchOS, I think, right? I mean, until we start having, or depending if Apple does it, I'm going to use in air quotes apps on tvOS, which they probably won't do fully, right? Because then they're going to cut into their Mac sales. They're not going to want to do that. But what do you do? It's a bit of a weird spot. It's got an app store. It's got some games. It's got apps, but So Nicholas says, I'm very interested in watchOS. Yeah, me too. And I know that you'd mentioned it before, which is why we probably may end up doing a watchOS or something for this. Because here's the thing. Actually, so it strikes me now that nobody, as far as I know, has done a blogging app on watchOS yet. So, unless there's a ton of people watching my stream, which is unlikely, maybe we can be the first to do that, right? Coco Type says, I tried working on a game for quite a while before I realized it was in violation of App Store policies. Well, what isn't in a violation of App Store policies? Funny, though, because you kind of proved the point there, right? It was a game, right? You never hear of anyone being like, oh, I should make, the WordPress type, desktop app for tvOS. You don't hear anyone saying that. And yet you could see a use for that, right? Some very simple thing or whatever, something like that. To-do list apps for TV. I mean, think about it, right? I get why Apple doesn't do it, but it seems perfect to me that you could have tvOS apps, with sort of home type applications like shopping lists and whatever, right? Perfect. I mean, well, it seems perfect to me, but I don't know. Don't think Apple would really want you to do that, which is why tvOS is still, in my eyes, a media player, and that's it. You have thought about making a tvOS version of Scroll mostly as a joke. Do it. Why not, right? You can make the tvOS app, and I think we'd all watch it. Let's all vote for this. Who wants to watch Coco Type make a tvOS app? Yep. There you go. Too late. Got to make it now, buddy. However, I was actually just occurred to me, maybe I won't say that because I seem to recall I said I would do a sink or wait this week and I never got around to looking at it. So before you ask, I never got around to looking at it. Way more work before I ship another version of it. Well, I mean, I think that's your commitment right there, right? Surely that's got to be your commitment. Okay, so we're going to go to the Mac, and the Mac, resume and show me a ridiculously small Mac window here, please. There it is. Fantastic. All right, so again, as I've done before with this, I think we just start with some very basic layout here, right? So we'll do a V-stack. Let's start with that. And then that way I can set the frame width and height. We'll just do, I'm going to put numbers in for now. It'll be scalable in the end. 1024 by 800, just so we've got something. Alignment, not going to care. Let's just have it now re-render. There you go. Great. Let's get that on the screen now. I don't know, tvOS is just such an untapped thing, and I think no one's figured out a really awesome use for it yet beyond media stuff. That's just my opinion. All right, let's start by doing this. So it's gonna, well, do my usual thing here, right? Just quickly stub these out. Doesn't have to be fancy. We'll have a title. Let's just start real simple. The title, tags, and then content. We'll just do 3 items for now, right? We've got no models to work through or anything yet, so just 3 items. Now, each of these is going to be an H stack. Feels like so much of this stuff is just repetitive that we do every time, right? Coco Type here says, using .preview layout at the bottom will help with the space issue without needing to change the frames of your actual UI. Oh, okay, good tip, yeah. I just discovered preview layout last night, so it's still fresh in my mind. All right, let's test it. Let's take that off of there. So what is it? Is it a modifier or preview layout? Override the size. Oh, okay. Override the size of the container for the preview. But what values do you put in there? Oh, okay. Fixed. Perfect. Look at that. Thank you, sir. All right. Maybe not. I don't have to specify pixels, right? Or do I? No. That would be crazy. All right. Well, I don't want to say it, but but you said you used this last night. Hang on, let's try something different. What about if we do fit the container to the size of the preview? Oh wait, this is the container though, right? Is that the problem? Previewing off at the size of the device it is running on. Well, but you know what? Maybe I got to run it live. Oh no, because that's going to pop it in the window anyway. I got a feeling that's not. Well, I can't put it on there, right? I mean, can I? No. You got me curious now. Now we're going down the rabbit hole. Maybe it just doesn't work for macOS projects. Wouldn't that be consistent? Oh yeah, well, half-ass implement this because we're Apple and we won't do it for all the platforms, even though that's what everyone would expect. We'll just sort of do this for something. Yeah. Let's find out. So if I specify a device, right? What do I do? Like a nothing? No, I guess that's not how that works. Okay, don't spell it wrong like that. Device is the default. Oh, okay. All right, we'd have to look that up. Maybe it just doesn't work for Mac then. Well, that would be disappointing. See, you knew it was going to be too convenient to just work, right? Let's just go back here so I don't have to type it again. There we go. Okay, text field. And we'll just have a title, text, prompt. Yeah, that'll do. I don't really need a title, but okay. Text is going to be a binding, so let's throw one of those in there quickly. Again, we'll pull this out to a model later on, but we'll have a binding. No, we won't. Sorry. We'll do state, and we'll just call it post name. It's a string. Post name. All right. Come on, be happy. Okay, yep. I don't know why I always forget that every time I type state. Oh, yeah, all right. Just do it already. I got it wrong here, didn't I? Wait. Cannot convert value of type string to expected argument type text. Oh. See, the thing with that is, why don't you just put it in for me, Xcode? And some error that we're not going to tell you about. I know what it is. Okay. Oh, geez. Come on. No, made that mistake before, didn't I? How did I? This will do for now. Oh, Jesus. There we go. I gotta turn my backlighting on my keyboard. Okay, there we go. Please just work. Come on. I mean, I know I haven't typed code for 2 days. Oh, come on, come on. Thank you. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna do this the lazy way. Let's not even do tags at this time. It doesn't matter. Just want to get one simple little, two simple little things on the screen. Oh, I didn't. Didn't change something, did I? Did I put that in? Okay. Boom. Right. That'll do for the Mac. This just became a very nihilist coding stream. What's that thing? Thank you, internet comedian. Is that what it was in The Simpsons? Okay, now here's the thing, right? So this content view is in the shared, and I've not had to mess with this on SwiftUI so far. It's multiple platforms. So if I create a new file, SwiftUI view, we're gonna call this one. Oh, I hate to do it this way, but okay, iOS content view. Hello, is it Wilfredo? Did I pronounce that? Hi, Peter. Thanks for your time and teaching interest. You are very, very welcome. Thank you for taking the time and trouble to drop by to not only share in the chat, but to watch the stream. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, please just throw them in there and I will do my best to answer them. Or give you a really bad code example. It's up to you, whichever one. But you're very welcome. All right. So, got the iOS content view. Let's do this. Let's create a new folder. All right, new group. I'm going to call it views. Well, actually, you know what? I should do this right before I go any further because I may not even need to do this. It's been a while. I think I briefly played around with cross-platform stuff in Xcode during the beta, but left it alone because I didn't need to do it. But if I just go to an iPhone 12, is it just going to be happy? What are the odds it'll just be happy? Probably not much, right? I'm going to try and fire this up. I want to get the simulator up and running anyway, so we're going to bring the simulator up here. One question: can I use Swift to automate application process in iOS iPhone? What sort of thing are you thinking of doing? Because remember there is an awful lot of sandboxing. So your app that you wrote would only have. I'm thinking this through, and the chat room can jump in on this. Your app would only have limited access. So if you're looking to automate other apps, I think you would probably only be able to do it by using the URL structures that a lot of apps provide, if you know what I'm talking about, where you can send content between apps by using a URL to sort of post it into the other app. Does that make sense? Chat room, please, if I've got that wrong, jump in. But I don't think, if you're looking to automate something like this, the shortcuts application, something like that, then I'm not sure you can do that in your own applications. You say, let's see. So Wilfredo's got here how to automate the click of a button in any app. Oh no, not. I'm gonna phrase it this way: not on a normal device, because you wouldn't. It wouldn't allow you to have that level. You couldn't. You don't have an app. Like for example, and maybe this is where you're going with this. On an Android device, I have an app for when I'm testing some things that's like an automatic clicker, and I can say click this part of the screen X amount of times, every 50 milliseconds or whatever, something like that. No shortcut. Okay, so you can't do what I just described as far as I know because you don't have access at that layer in iOS. Presumably because of the sandboxing, and Apple just doesn't make it happen. So I don't think you can. Now, that said, the reason I say on a normal phone, I don't know, and I've never used, quote, hacked iPhone or iOS device, unlocked, whatever you want to call it, to know if you can do it at that level. If anyone else in the chat room or anyone watching knows, please jump in and help Wilfredo out. But I don't believe you have that level of access on an Apple device. Certainly not the iPad or the iPhone, anyway. So I hope that helps. You would. The only other, the app that you wanted to do it for would also have to support something along the lines of if the app had a URL, and this being the other app, right? That you wanted to click the button on. If that app had a URL that you could send in, I'm trying to think this through, you could send in to that URL that told that button on that screen, go ahead and click. But it's exceptionally unlikely that anyone's ever going to write anything like that for you. So I don't believe you can. But if anyone else knows any better, jump in. It's an interesting question. I wish we could. Boy, if we had that kind of level of access, imagine all the things we could do. So I hope that helps. If I've got it wrong, just keep going, and I'll try and figure out how I got it wrong. Thanks. Okay, so here's our app with nothing on it. Now, let me go back to the Mac. I'm going to run that one too. I think Cocoa Type, Nicholas, I know you've both played with SwiftUI. Have you done any cross-device views like this? You don't have to create a separate file, maybe? Although the iOS one here clearly has nothing, right? Wilfredo says, I have seen that it could be done with Appium, but it could be done with Swift. Appium. I've not used Appium, but so are you saying that you've seen it Appium used to? Oh wait, maybe they were running tests. If they were running it as a test suite, maybe you could possibly do it that way. Still seems unlikely though. I'd be very interested to hear more details, or if you have any, URLs or anything you can point us at, because I'm still not sure how that can be pulled off, assuming that I've interpreted the question correctly. But when you're writing like automated testing, you could do it that way, but then you'd have to presume you'd have to have the source code to the app to write the tests, right? Yeah. Okay. Because I know, like, I'm not going to demonstrate it here because in Xcode it's terrible and it crashes all the time. But you can do that. Yeah, testing. I could see a possibility where you could do that with the testing. I'm still not sure how if you could write a test for someone else's app, though. Does that make sense? Android, no problem. Cocoa Type here says Appium would only work with your own app. Right, okay. Yeah, in your UI tests, yeah. Example, if that's the case, then yeah, you can use XCUI test, but you can't do it with an arbitrary app. That was my understanding too. So yeah, if it's your app, or you have the source code for whatever the app is, you could do it then because you're just writing tests for a test suite. Okay, Peter, you can send me emails, please. Emails for what? I'm not understanding. But I think I don't think you're going to get there on iOS for writing a test for a third-party app, third-party from you, and then being able to do that. I don't believe that's going to work. Not on a normal device, like I say. But hey, if there is something out there, then please figure it. If you figure it out or you find a way, share it with all of us. Love to hear about it. I'd love to share it with the Compile Swift audience too. You can send me an email if you want, compileswift@gmail.com. Be very interested to see how that works. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and stop these. So, did it stop that one as well? Yep, great. Okay, it stopped them both. So that's the one for our Mac. Now, my question is, when I'm working on my iOS device here, I mean, I know right, so there it is with nothing, but how this screen is obviously not rendering, right? Here. Now, do I have to make, like because I thought in previous versions I'd seen like it makes an iOS folder for you. Maybe I'm wrong, but gonna content view. I'm gonna risk life and limb here and see if this works. It's not rendering because it's 800 pixels wide. Oh, good point. Yeah. Okay. All right. You. Oh, wait. Sorry, Coco Type. I missed something here. You might be able to do it if you're able to unsign and resign your target app. Interesting. But it still need to be tethered to Xcode. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to be tethered to Xcode either by a wire or over Wi-Fi to be able to run the tests anyway without getting involved with Xcode Cloud, which probably doesn't work anyway. But yeah, you'd have to run it through Xcode. Curious about the unsign and resign Coco Type. That I didn't even know that was a thing you could do. Seems very sketchy, doesn't it? Yeah. Let me go back to this. All right. So this isn't. That's not. Oh, but I did just notice. Look, did you notice that it has? Is it? Did I delete the extension? Surely I didn't delete the extension, did I? All right. Let me walk backwards here a little bit because Coco Type. I think you're right. It may be about the size, but still, 800 pixels should show something, right? Let me walk backwards here. Take that frame off for a second. Oh, now it's indexing. Now it's indexing. We're just gonna have to sit and wait. How to build the scheme, because why? Don't want to tell you why. I'm just gonna tell you. Exo is just gonna say, nah. I think it's mad because you have two content view.swifts now. I only have. Oh shoot! Sorry. I thought I did. Okay, I thought when you delete the group, the file would go away. Thank you, Coco Type. Okay, boom, right. Now we're getting somewhere. This brings up an interesting scenario. What if I did want two different files? I guess this seems like the hacky way to go in here and say, hey, if it's device iPhone, then, pull up this one. If it's device Mac, pull up a different one. That seems very hacky, doesn't it? Do you want to use two separate files? I mean, I know I'm kind of SwiftUI, the whole theory being that, oh, you can use it on multiple platforms. It's not, I mean, yeah, it's mostly true until you find certain controls that don't work that way or certain controls that don't exist in SwiftUI yet. Just saying. So I don't know. Well, I guess we'll have to see. But let's move on. Let's make some business layer stuff here. So let's just make a new file. I think you can do it by having the same type name, but don't include them in the specific targets. I'm not sure I understand. I think you can do it by having the same type name. Oh, okay. I got you. So yeah, you're talking about yeah. So for example, not putting this one in iOS. Let's try it. Well, actually, we still have the same problem though, right? Because you can only specify content view here. Well, I mean, you can put in whatever you want, but if I've got content view here, right, and I drop it out of one of these, still got the same problem because if I create something else called iPhone view, yeah, I could include iPhone view only in iOS, but it's not going to know to load iPhone view, right? See what I'm saying? Yeah, call it content view in both. Okay. Okay, right. So I'm with you. Gonna test this out because just having some fun here. That's what we do, right? So I'm gonna call this. I'm gonna make this one called iOS, right? We'll just put a new file in here. New SwiftUI view because I'm just curious about this now, and a little bit curious about this for self-serving interest because I'm thinking about a project that I'm currently working on where this may be the answer to some of the problems as opposed to trying to do fancy stuff. So I'll do this one for iOS only. I'm going to call it content view again. Then you just rely on the targeting inclusion to make sure that there's only one per app so that it doesn't have to. Yeah, right. Agreed. Yeah. So I'm going to leave this one as is, right? But it's only in the iOS one. I'm going to go over to this one, and I don't want this one in the iOS one, right? So we're currently set up. Let's go back for. Where did my Mac? Oh, I'm an idiot. Hang on, there it is. Go back to my Mac. Resume. All right, fingers crossed, folks. Fingers crossed. What we need is a win. We don't want a foul, right? We don't want a foul. Okay. Message send failure for send preview instances message to agent. That sounds fancy. Okay, Mac. There's the Mac, right? Let's prove it. We're going to run the Mac. There's the Mac. We run the iOS version. Let's do an iPhone 12. We should see the iOS version, right? Not this. Terribly exciting, isn't it? Okay, let's get rid of that. That's the Mac one. Yeah, I know the active scheme is not. You'll need the same fields in both since you reference them in the app type. Good point. So you know what? There you go. Right. Run it. Okay. So if I do some, just make sure this is really totally working. We'll use this exact string. Why did I mess up? Oh, text. All right, before anyone says it, text. Got it. Awesome. Good job. There you go. All right. Now we can carry on. Feeling reasonably confident. I better take that out before I wonder why I put that in there. With that, okay. All right. By the way, what do you all think about these icons, having these icons in here like this in Xcode? I'm still not sure. Gotta be honest. Vitally important to app function. Everything is vitally important to app function. Maybe. Okay, so so far so good. Let's just create a new group here. I'm not going with any particular conventions as we're just playing with this to experiment with ideas. So I'm just going to create a group and put a new file. This new file is just going to be a Swift file because it's a Swift file. And we write Swift. Put it in both. I'm just going to call this basic model. In here, we'll just put a struct basic model. We will say, let's just create something really silly and simple. So let data, let me think. We can make, let's just make a data equal an array. Strings, we'll call this post title 1. Oh, wait. No. That's not going to work. Well, it'll do for now. Just want to pull the data in for both, right? Go over to our content view. See, this is where it's going to get confusing. Okay, Mac. Oh, wait. Sorry. This, yeah, okay. This must be the icon. Yeah, okay. All right. No reason in the world this shouldn't work, but there's every reason in the world this might not work. So we're just going to put data. Yeah. Please don't complain. I knew it. String interpolation can only appear as string little because I didn't put it in there, like so. Don't need that. What did I not do? Oh, sorry. I do need that. What an idiot. I'm getting to the point where I'm almost don't want to type code in front of Coco type because I know he's going to spot the error before I even had a chance to finish it. What am I missing? Cannot convert value of type u and whoa. Fine. Be happy. Get the feeling I've overlooked something really stupid. Yeah, I did. How did no one spot that? I didn't spot it. Maybe I still got it wrong. Basic model, did you mean to use a value of this type instead? Oh. See? All sorts of errors on a Sunday night. Okay. Now I should be able to go data. Oh, sorry. Probably have to do it that way. So much for the basic model. Okay. Run it. The text won't show on there because it was set the preview, but it will show the hello there. Fantastic. All right. Everybody get that, right? So in our model, we've got this basic model. We've got data, post title 1, post title 2. Get rid of that one. Actually, let's get rid of that one too. Close that one out for now. Go back to the Mac one. Prompt should be, I'm going to put a break mark in there. Asking Xcode not to complain is fruitless. It can smell fear. I don't think at this point Xcode's smart enough to smell fear. It's not smart enough to do the things it's supposed to do, right? I think a more accurate statement is Xcode just gives up because it doesn't know. And it doesn't want to tell us that it doesn't know. And clean my Mac again. Doesn't like it either. Data 0 is a string. Yeah, okay. Ignore it. We know what we're doing. So smarts have nothing to do with it. Xcode ruins coders' lives purely on instinct. We could say the same about visual. We could say the same about just about every single IDE, right? Oh, hello, Mohammed. So I didn't see you over there. Hello, thank you for sharing this knowledge and experience. You are very welcome. Please feel free to ask questions. We have some very knowledgeable folks in the chat room. And so if you have any questions or anything you're interested in, please feel free to ask away. Thank you so much for taking the time to comment. Appreciate it. Welcome to the club here. And as far as knowledge and experience, watching me code this stuff on the live stream, I think Coco Type and Nicholas will vouch for me on this. I don't know that it's a good demonstration of my knowledge and experience because you know how it is. Developer rule, right? You write it during the day, no one's looking, it works perfectly. You do it on a live stream, suddenly you can't even remember how to use a keyboard anymore. That's the way these things work, right? So this should be giving me the string, but it's not. But you know what? We can cheat this a little because let's do a little debugging in here like this, right? Maybe it's not seeing it the way we think it is. No, look, it is post title 1. Okay. But for some reason, it won't let you do it. And let's try it again, right? Don't want that there. To the end. Try it again. Oh God, what did I do? I fudged it up here somewhere, haven't I? Yeah, look, see what I did? Oh, see. I'm getting myself in all kinds of trouble here. Okay. Hang on, back up. Okay. We need this to be text, like so. But also, keep up now. Keep up, folks. Just how many brackets do we need? Do we need more brackets? We need thousands more brackets. Coding in front of a peanut gallery is a very humbling yet rewarding experience. I've not seen the rewarding part yet. Now that said, when I watch other coding streams, as I do, watching them is rewarding because the same thing's happening to them, and I know they're good developers. There should be an unwritten rule, like a rulebook that says, hey, don't ever live stream coding because you think it's going to be a great idea until you do it. Then you get into terrible nightmares like this, right? Like, what am I doing? There you go. How many do I have? That's that one. I'm missing one. That's that one. Where's this one? That's that one. That's that one. I think I got the right amount in there. Looks right to me. What am I missing? Anyone? Yeah, I know that's not that fix there. That is not the answer. We know that much. We know. I'm just Coco Type says I'm just thinking of my last stream. I was on your last stream. I watched it, where I was building some nightmare closures called enclosures memory management thing. I love the word thing in there. And then Alex was just like, you realize this is built into Vue, right? Wasn't that awesome though? See, this is one thing I love about doing this stream is you'll be doing stupid crazy shit like I'm doing here, and then someone says, there's like this little thing that just like does that, right? Because it feels an awful lot like someone saying, if you put a plug in the bath, it won't drain away all the water, right? And you're like, ugh. And yet, the thing is, I laugh every time you hear those folks saying, oh, when you've got to spare 3,000 hours, go read through like the foundation code. And you're like, huh? And then this happens to you and you're like, oh yeah. Seymour, I just wanted to prove to you that, like, I could just randomly type stuff on the screen. Maybe it'll compile, maybe it won't. Tomorrow morning it'll compile. This evening ain't gonna happen. All right. I don't even really need that in there anyway. I think you just need to delete the... Okay, no, wait. I want to fix this now because Coco Type's got the answer. I think you just need to delete the paren between prompt and text. You might be right. I know you're right. You're always right. I don't even have to run this to know that you're right. But I'll do it anyway. Oh, maybe not. Wow, I so thought you were right. Oh, wait. Completing the rings on the watch. What can I tell you? Yeah. Move goal achieved. That's just from me shaking my hands at the screen. That's how I achieved my move goal. I think. Is it the move goal? Yeah, move goal. There needs to be an extra activity ring on the Apple Watch for developers that says how many times you hit the delete key, or you go back and reset, git reset, right? There needs to be an extra ring. I can achieve that one every day, no problem. Well, now it deleted an extra at the end. No, I think you're still right. Oh wait. Oh, hang on. That's that one. Why? Have you noticed that you move over that one, it doesn't do it, right? Notice that. Oh, we need one for the text field. There you go. I need like we've gone from a foul to I need, instead of win, I need like a yeah, kind of one. All right. Almost got there. I don't even remember why I was doing it. So our basic model should now be filling in post title 1. Well, the prompt still isn't filling in properly, but I don't know why. Oh, yeah, I do. Probably because maybe it's rendering the screen before we have that. I don't need it in there anyway. I was just curious. I know, you're all like, what? Really? He was just curious? That's why he did all that shit? Okay, so for the prompt, if I do this, I should have nothing. Don't complain, Xcode. Oh my god. I swear, if you complain again. Alright, if I just delete the prompt off completely. Don't complain. Thank you. So you can put a prompt on there with an extra string, with an empty string. Who knew? I feel like Nicholas in the chat room was like, okay, they've got this figured out now. Now I can step back in. It's the best way. Just sit in the background until Coco Type solves the problem. And then we all come forward. Coco Type says text needs an expressible by string literal conformance. It would make life a lot easier. Sure. Just file a radar. File a radar on it. Go for it. They'll pay as much attention to yours as they do to mine, I'm sure. Although, I did get one closed out. I got a thing back that said, hey, we think we fixed this. Can you check it? And sure enough, yeah. I think it was about a year, maybe a little bit longer than that, but they did it. So, yay! You know you've made it when they actually take one of your radars and do something. Or they're going to get you next time. That's it. You've had your lucky shot, right? Okay, so here we are. We've got, let me open these up. We've got a view for iOS. We've got a view. Let me just take this, right? The whole point of this whole darn thing was just to prove how easy, I know, how easy it is to just set this up for multiple devices, right? Let's run this and hope for the best. Oh, sorry, I'm running the wrong one. By the way, just a reminder for everybody, if you want to check it out, I do have a podcast as well on stuff that works a lot better than this. You go to compileswift.com/podcast. You'll find it there. Okay, here we go. Post title 1. Great. So at this point, we've got a model that's shared across both platforms, or as many platforms as you want. You know what? Let's do this. Nicholas, we're going to see if we can make a watch version. How about that? Right? This will be interesting. We're going to do this right now for you, Nicholas. Just because we want you to, we want this to be a thing for you. I think sounds fun. Yeah. Sounds fun for you because you're not the one that's going to have to build it. I think watchOS, this is all going to be interesting. Watch app for iOS, a watch app. Okay. Wait. Okay, we'll just call it. Funny that you have to put that in again. All right. So we've got our. Oop. Activate Blogit WatchKit app complication scheme. This scheme has been created for the watch. Choose activate to use this scheme for building and debugging. Schemes can be chosen in the tool. Okay, do it. Save me a couple of clicks. Okay. I really feel like we're just going out on a limb here now. Wait, is what? Let's run it, see what we get. Just going to run it. Watch blogging is going to be the next new social media craze. Oh, I hope not. You know, that reminds me, I do want to let you all know, because you all know, if any of you have been watching my streams or are fortunate enough to follow me on Twitter or any of that stuff, Compile Swift everywhere, you know how much I hate on-screen keyboards. But the on-screen keyboard in the Series 7 watch actually works. I can actually type with that better than I can do it on my iPhone. I'm actually quite impressed. All right, so here we go. We've got it. It ain't doing nothing, but okay. Here's the content view. What's on the content view? Let me guess, absolutely nothing. Well, it should have the text, right? That's a good point. Why didn't we see? Get rid of this one. Why didn't we see it appear on there? Right, so here it is here. Maybe I've got the wrong one selected. Yeah, I did, I think. WatchKit app. All right. Series 7 45mm. I think I had the wrong thing set up. Oh boy. Please don't crash. I want Nicholas to be proud of what we've done here. Thank you. Hello world. Okay. Let's do it. Let's take basic model, make it available to the WatchKit app. Oh, apparently not. Uh-oh, this is gonna... Why won't it let me? It'll let me add it to the extension. Can't add it to those. All right, let's keep going. I'm just going to take this whole view. I'm going to take this whole thing. I'm just going to step out there, take the whole thing. I can copy and paste my own code, right? That's not illegal, right? I think. Oh, that's going to get interesting when this resumes. Okay. Wow, this is pretty exciting, right? Watch blogging, I'm telling you. It's a thing. You heard it here first, folks. Just remember, when you're all writing those 3,000 word blog posts on your watch, it's because you heard it here. Why would you do that? Why would you do this? Copying and pasting one's own code is illegal. I should be serving multiple life sentences. Absolutely. I'm in the cell right next to you. Failed to build because of something. Not going to tell you what, but failed to build because of something. Okay. This must be one in the... Okay, yeah, I see. All right. Nothing. Nothing. Please don't complain. See, it's when you look at the tab bar. That's when you regret giving the same name to everything. All right. Nicholas, there's your watch app. Wow. How cool is that? Ship it, right? Here's the on-screen keyboard, by the way. It is... Let me see if I can demonstrate this with a touchpad here. But you can swipe, and it works. And it actually works on the watch for me. All right. Oh, good Lord. This is a blog. Almost. This is, you know what? This is exactly like, do you remember when the jokes about Photoshop on the iPad, when the iPad came out and they were dragging and dragging and dragging? Okay. There you go, Nicholas. That's it. We never need to touch the watch again. But we will. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Well, Nicholas, we gave you something. That's your Christmas present right there. If you need a blogging app for the watch, you now know how to do it. For the rest of us, we'll leave you to it. Right. Okay, cool. I'm actually going to leave this in here because why not after all this trouble, right? Now, I am so far off of what I was thinking of starting on this stream, but this is awesome. So I should have just called this, we're going to make a watch app, and probably would have had at least 6 viewers, right? Okay. That's the Mac OS. That's not the Mac OS. You know what it needs? Oh, you know what Xcode needs? When I click on one of these in one of these, if it would automatically change this up here for me, how cool would that be? I guess at this point, I'm just thankful I've made it this far without Xcode crashing, because I see it happen to folks on streams all the time. Just saying. Okay. Now, let's see. We have been at this an hour. We have got something running on all 3 platforms. Oh, I want that icon. I'm going to totally want to change this, the Xcode icon to be that on my machine, my work machine. A wallpaper. Oh. All right, so in an hour, we've created this. We've got it on all 3 platforms. What I'm wondering, I guess you could make a separate target for an iPad, right? Because one of the things that bugs me about a lot of iPhone apps, doesn't happen a lot, but sometimes you'll get a really cool app that you use a lot that clearly wasn't thought about for the iPad, right? Not gonna name anything in particular, but just about every social network ever. And I think I would want to create one for the iPad too. For example, and I know that I've spoken about this on the stream before, and I think we had some fun with this one time. I know Coco Type, and I think Nicholas, you were here on this. We were looking at the calendar control and how different it is on iOS and non-existent on the Mac. So that would be a perfect example of why you would want separate screens like this. And, for those of you who are thinking, oh, well, you could put if device blah, if platform X, do this, do that. No, don't do it. Don't, trust me, folks, you don't want to bloat your view code with all of that kind of logic. You want your view code to be as simple and as dumb as possible to make it easy to maintain. That is something that I preach to all of my developers, is keep it as dumb as possible. Let the business layer take care of the business. Let the model take care of the model. The view is just there to project stuff up on the screen, right? If this device is the worst. Yes, thank you, Nicholas. Yeah, it really is. I'm trying to think if I've ever done something like that. I do recall writing, now wait for it, I do recall writing a Flash app once where it would detect the rotation of a device, but not necessarily the device itself. And the reason for it was because the app you could use the camera to take a picture, and there was a bunch of stuff on the screen that was different, controls and everything else, depending on whether the device was in portrait or landscape. So that's why I did that on ActionScript of all things, and it worked. Right? Yeah, I wrote ActionScript for years. I could still do it today if I wanted. even though Flash is dead, it's still alive and well in corporations, as you can all well imagine. All right, so I guess we need to plan this out, start thinking about seriously, like, well, what was this going to be? What I had in mind was just about any email app that you've seen these days, where you have on the far left side, you have, categories or whatever, inboxes, things like that. The next to that, to the right of it, is a list of blog posts in my case, or emails. And then on the far right hand side would be the details, right? Or the content. That's kind of what I had in mind. That would totally work on Mac, totally work on iPad. You're gonna have to do some overlay stuff probably on iOS, on the watch. Oh, forget it. I don't think you want to go through those groups. Coco Type says, surprised Adobe hasn't pushed an ActionScript competitor to React Native and Flutter. That's a good point, Coco Type. I never even thought about that, but you're right, because they still push Dreamweaver, still out there. And I don't know if anyone remembers it. If you was on the web, you probably would. I was a big time Flex developer for a while, and I was, if I remember rightly, I'm sure the NDA doesn't exist anymore. I was helping the engineers to work on the IDE and beta testing and all that stuff. And Flex was good. Flex was so much better than Flash, but it just died. And Cold Fusion is still a thing, I think. But you're right. It is interesting that they haven't come up with one. Well, okay, you know what? I'm going to be the cynical me, but also the what I really think me. Adobe is too busy trying to be a social marketing company these days that it's almost a joke to try and take them seriously as a design tools company anymore. They're still riding the coattails of Photoshop. And they have some other great tools, Photoshop, Illustrator, but beyond that, to be honest, everything else is just a social marketing company, and that's pretty much it, right? That's why I don't even really use their tools anymore. I have Photoshop because I need it for some things, but beyond that, I'm sorry, I just see them as a wannabe social media marketing company, and so I guess they probably don't even care anymore about that stuff. And that's my controversial opinion for the day. I can say that because I'm not beholden to them for anything. Not anymore, anyway. All right, so I don't know. What do you think? Think we should leave it here for now, maybe? Or you know what? Let's do this. Actually, so now that we've done all of that, and we've got all of that, let's very quickly hack together a framework here, right? That'll work for us. So this would be our details view. So let's very quickly hack this in here. We would have an H stack, right, which would cover all of these. So that's the detail view, right? In there here would be another V stack, which would be, let's just call it groups for now. Then there'll be another V stack, which would be blog post list, right? And you can see it taking shape over here on the right. This is one thing I do like about SwiftUI, even with all the problems it has at the moment. You can very quickly hack this stuff out, just like you can with React components and things like that. CocoType says Premiere is the only product of theirs I still use because it's the best in class. Occasionally I use Photoshop because it's the only option for whatever I'm trying to do, but it's never my first choice. Yes, Premiere. I'm a Final Cut Pro user, but I used Premiere for many years and was always very happy with it. The thing with Photoshop is it's still the one that has plugins, right? The others, plugin companies seem very reluctant to write stuff for other, editor tools. I should mention Lightroom. I do use Lightroom. Absolutely adore Lightroom. But I use Photoshop because I have a bunch of Photoshop plugins that, you know, a lot of my files, my template files and stuff that I use for posting things, and I used plugins to create the stuff in there, and therefore you need to plug in and so on. But yeah, Premiere is very good. After Effects is good, but just starting to get a bit bloated, I guess, like all the Adobe tools, you know. All right, so we've got our groups list, our blog post list, and then our details list, right? So let's go in here. And actually, let's just put in a title, right? We'll just call it blog post, whatever, you know. Let's put in, actually, you know what? Bold's not really going to make it stand out much, no. Does it still have, it should have. Looking for my styles. No, I'll find you. And I can't remember the modifier for it, for setting the system styles. No, I can't remember it right now. I'll set that up. Okay, now notice though that in the middle, we really want these to be at the top, right? So what you're going to want to do here is add an alignment. Oh, nope, not that one. Well, you're just going to want it to be leading. Oh, sorry. Not that one. Wait, is it vertical alignment? Have I completely gone crazy? It's probably defined on alignment and maybe, yeah. Okay. Let's just put it here. I'm just forgetting everything at this point. It's like I've never written this stuff before. Excuse me. I don't need those. I want vertical alignment. Oh, yeah. You know why? Because I forgot to. You can't have that unless you put it in a vertical stack, which I forgot to do. And now if I do it, it's gonna say, "Hey, what?" Oh, nope. And a space. And again. I'm sorry, I'm just really tired at this point. There we go. Okay, groups. Adding. Got my text. Padding. Add the spacer. And then, well, for now, at least, let's just do this. Well, not quite like that. There we go. Better? It's better, right? Looks better to me. Look better to you? Okay, so you get the idea, right? Got the groups. You know, let's just put some text in here so you can see it. Some blog, some other blog. Might as well fix these up over here. Post one. I actually really should, if I wasn't being so lazy, I should put those in a loop right here from my model for the list. But since I haven't completed the model yet, not much point really. Okay. And then on these ones, I do now want to say, not all that. There you go, leading. Although the one for the groups, actually you would want in the center, but I'm gonna have some toolbars in there for that, so we'll fix those up. Just take that there. Not gonna do it on that one because again, that's a temporary one right there. But I do need to put the padding. Whew. And to be honest, what you should do, well, in my opinion, what I'm going to do is I will actually break these out into their own views so that you don't need to have all of this code in here like this, right? So you can have view 1, that'll be view 2, and then view 3, because it'll make it an awful lot easier to manage and design. And then you can just pull them in. Now, the way you would do that, let's see if we can really crash Xcode here, shall we? Because, you know, why not? Oops. Oh, wrong key, sorry. So you can pull these out into views, you know, refactor them that way. See if I can get it. Where's my sub view? Why is it not giving me my sub view? And I know you used to be able to do it. Nope, not even doing it over there. Okay. You would extract these to a editor, refactor, factor method. No. Where is my sub view? Anyone remember where it is? Not there. I know I've had it come up before. I just can't remember the keyboard shortcut offhand. Found it. All right. So you left click. Good Lord. So what you can do is left click, right? Extract sub view. I'm going to do a few little fancy things. There's your extracted view. You're going to go in, refactor, rename, because for some reason it doesn't ask me to give me the name when I make it. And I'll just call this group view, like so, right? And then you can just take this off to another file. It would be great if it gave you the option to extract a sub view to a new file. That would be even better to save me the trouble. But you know, you can do that, but you can see that now you've got the group view, right? We'll do it again here. Now that we've started, we might as well. So extract sub view, refactor it. Call this one post list. And then lastly, this one. Extract subview. Oops. Refactor, rename. Post content view. All right, so look, now we've got three views, right? And look how this is the view code that we've got in here now. Much easier to read, much cleaner. So if I take this one, I'm just going to take this and create a new view here. A new file. SwiftUI view. We will call this one post list because that is what we called it. Right. Yep, looks good. All right, so I'm just gonna replace this one right here. Right. It's saying, by the way, in case you freak out, invalid redeclaration of post list because we haven't taken the one out over here, right? Which we're now going to do. But you should notice over here, if this resumes correctly, it should look exactly the same, right? We do have an issue here with scope because the content view is using this data item, right? That is something we would need to fix up at some point. We will certainly do that, but let's carry on with what we're doing here. So we've got the group view, right? Going to make a new view here. These views, by the way, these two views, the group list and the blog post list view, probably reuse them both on the same platform. So we're doing the work once to use it twice, probably is what's going to happen. SwiftUI view. I think did I call it group view? No, I didn't, did I? What did I call it? I should have written it down. Post list. And actually, it's going to go in for iOS anyway. That's fine. Post list.swift already exists. You really? Oh, because I made that the model, didn't I? Did I do something? No, wait. Confused. Did I already create this one? All right. I think it's the group view one that I messed up. I need a drink, folks. I'm going to grab a drink here. I will be right back. Hey, oh my good lord, Coco types at it with the caps again. Frederico, hey, how's it going? It is going a lot better than it was earlier with my really, really bad coat. So this one's going much better. And Coco type, what can I say? I promised you I'd let you use caps. Now you can use caps. So the good news is it's going even better because Coco type's got his caps and he's happy. All right, so we got a few thousand errors here because I think I messed up. Let me go backwards. I think I actually copied and pasted the wrong thing. So hold on. What I need here is I already did the post list. I need the group view one. So we're going to get rid of this like that. And let's go in here. How you doing, Frederico? How was your weekend? And we'll create a new file. And SwiftUI. What spec was your MacBook Pro? My MacBook Pro is the, you want to see it? Hang on, let me see if I can get it for you. Actually, no, let's not do that. It is the 14-inch version with the max chip, not the top one, next one down, 32 gig of RAM, 1 gig hard drive. And it is kicking butt, let me tell you. The only time it gives me issues is two things wrong with it. One, and we can all blame Xcode for this, right? Memory and then just Xcode. The other thing is I'm still having issues with hubs. If I plug in USB hubs, regardless of powered or not, kernel panics are just a thing that just happen over and over and over and over again. Other than that, this MacBook Pro 14 with the Max chip, phenomenal. And the screen, oh my gosh, let me tell you, the screen, whew, it's amazing. Coco type, honest question, if you only wanted 32 gig of memory, why go with the Max instead of Pro for what I assume is mostly dev? No real reason is the honest answer. What it was, I originally toyed with a couple of different options. One was the, max it out at 64. The other was to go for the top level with the CPU. And the other option was to go for a 2 gig internal storage, of which I decided, you know what, my M1 Mac Mini with the 16 and the 1 terabyte did me fantastic. So this one was a big step up from there. No reason in my mind that I needed any more power than that, if that helps. Not exactly scientific. Federico says, and do you recommend the books that Apple provides in order to start coding in Swift? I only have an iPad Pro and I'm planning on getting an M1 MacBook Air. And Nicholas says, makes sense. When you say the books that Apple provide, you mean the ones that are on the website and the developer portal, or like in the Apple Books app? All of which are perfectly fine, but I'll be honest, I don't think there's anything in there you couldn't find in other places on the web. The M1 MacBook Air, though, by the way, phenomenal machine. You're going to do just fine with that as a development machine. You don't need more than that. With development, whatever your machine is, you'll always wish you had more. You'll always need more. Simple as that, because it's development. But that M1 MacBook Air, just like my M1 Mac Mini, it's going to be fine. Trust me. It's got so much power. It's ridiculous. The only thing would be maybe memory. I never hit that problem on the Mac Mini M1 other than when it crashed because it just... Monterey seems to have some memory leaks or something. It's not the fault of the hardware, that's for sure. In the Apple Books app, gotcha. Okay. I would say that anything that's in those books you can find on the web. Please, everyone else in the chat room, Nicholas, I see you've got a comment on there. Are you having it? Works great. Get the 16 gig. Yeah, absolutely get the 16 gig. I would say that 16 gig, definitely the way to go, and then you're set. I'll be honest, I think if you're getting started with Swift, you will find content all over the web that you will get for free. that'll do it for you. There's nothing wrong with the Apple Books in the Apple Book app. In the Apple Books app, that's fine too. Any resources you have will work for you. I think that the Apple Books are a little kind of that idealistic, this is the way things should work, and when things go wrong, it doesn't help you. Whereas opposed to stuff on the web is a bit more reality based, I guess. But chat room, what do you think? Weigh in on the books for Federico. Any thoughts on that? If you was looking for some paid content, hackingwithswift.com, fantastic. Pool stuff is fantastic. He also has a lot of free content on there that is phenomenally good. A lot of SwiftUI stuff. Ray Wenderlich as well. And if you're just looking for little answers to certain things, I got a bunch of stuff up on compileswift.com as well. But I think any of those resources will work great for you. Nothing beats hacking with Swift. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Right? The Apple Books, one plus for the Apple Books, it will teach you in the way that Apple wants you to do it, right? And meaning that, if you really want to follow all of the recommendations that they have and things like that, then their books are going to do that for you, right? So that's something there. Certainly all of the things we've mentioned going to be beneficial. It's not going to steer you wrong, if that helps. All right. Okay, so we're going to call this the group view. I should have called it group list, but never mind. So in the group view, I'm going to take this, I'm going to paste this in here, like so. Thank you so much. You're very welcome. Please feel free to ask any questions you want in the chat room. We do this, try to do this every week, and you are always more than welcome to ask any questions, and I'll try and answer you. Luckily for us, we have fantastic people in the chat room every week as well. So the folks in the chat room will certainly be able to help you out as well. And feel free to ask any questions. If there's no question, especially for stuff getting started, I love to help people get started because it's just awesome fun. Coco Type says the Apple books are a bit dry. The content is good, but for getting started, they might leave you a bit bored. Well, yeah, I think you've got a point there, right? And maybe that's kind of what I was trying to say. It's a bit like reading all the list of, the stuff in Foundation for Swift and stuff. It's like, yeah, okay, but it's a bit, I find, personally, my opinion, the best stuff to learn from is the stuff that has you making something that you have a vested interest in, right? I'm not one of those people who's a big fan of, I'm going to go read the description of every function and all that stuff, I don't personally, for me, and I think for a lot of people, it doesn't settle into your brain that way. What's the point in learning the dictionary, right? I mean, that's what we've got Google for, right? It's more about learning the techniques and making something you want to make, not because the book tells you to. But it really depends on each person and if that's the way you want to go, right? That's why I'm a big fan of self-learning, because you're going to go make something you want to use. I feel like certainly a lot of the folks in the chat room, we make our own apps that we use. We have a vested interest in them because we use them. We want them to work, as opposed to, oh, this book showed me how to make yet another to-do list application, and great, I've made another app that's like all the other to-do list apps out there. Yes, you learned how to make it, but you're going to move on from it and not use it again, right? Best stuff is the stuff you build for yourself that you'll always be working on and learning new techniques with. And I think that the Apple books not really going to get you there on that side of it. Technical side, yes. But as Coco Type says, the technical side is great, but you don't want to be so turned off from it because it's so boring, right? And it's all too easy to get boring, stuff like that. The other thing is hang out in the right chat groups, visit people's live streams like you have today. Ask questions. There's plenty of people out there, some fantastic people out there in this community that will help you get started and solve the problems for you and answer questions. We do it for our own, the people in the chat room here, we do it all the time, right? Hang out in each other's streams, try and help each other out. Be part of those communities is a great way to learn things. And if you're looking to make a career out of it, it's a great way for people to get to know you as well. Hope that helps. All right, so that's our group view right there. So now if we go back, find the right one, there it is. We've got our group view, post list, and content view. Cannot find group view in scope, it will now. There you go. So once we solve this problem here about the post content view, you can see, look, we got this whole thing down to just 3. Very easy to read as the base starting file, starting view for our application, right? This one down here, arguably at this point, you almost don't need to have the model in this view because it doesn't need it, right? Only this one needs it. Or if all 3 will need it eventually, you could just use it in all 3 there, is what I'm thinking. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take this. And again, this is kind of giving you an overview of just how I'm fleshing something out really basic, really quickly. All of this stuff will probably end up looking very different once we start to bring in the data and functionality and all that stuff. All right. So post content view, let's make that one quickly. Let's fix these errors. I think what we'll do is we'll fix these errors, get this running again. And then we're almost a couple of hours into this. Maybe we'll leave it there for today. We'll come back to this next time. Post content view. So we're going to make a new SwiftUI view. Call it post content view. May refactor these names later on. It's fine. Again, this is just doing a bit of a cleanup today. So when I come back to this next week, it still makes sense to me. Okay, so post content view. We know it's a redeclaration right now because we know we have it over here. Whoops, no, we don't. We have it over here. So let's get this out, right? As soon as we do that, look how much code we have now to get this up and running. Get this one out of here. We don't need this, right? So we're going to take that out of there. Arguably, we don't even need these at this point, actually. So we're going to take all 3 of those. And we'll just get these out of here. Don't even need this here now because, again, this is just a very straightforward view, right? Let's better find the right one. Where are you? There should be one I need to fix up here, and I can't remember where it is. There it is. Is this the one? Yeah. Clean this up. Don't need those. Greatly simplifying a lot of the code here. Fantastic. All right, everything. Not going to be completely happy, but we got a lot of stuff cleaned up. Let's go over to our post content, right? These ones are good. Let's get rid of these ones. Now, our post content does need to have these because we are using them. Now, that's going to cause some problems down here because it's going to start complaining and say, hey, you didn't provide the stuff like we did in the other one, right? So we're just going to do this. See how quickly it gets unhappy with empty strings. See, if I resume this, part of the beauty of having this one, Cocoa type, sorry, wandered off for a bit because I was trying to find this video for Federico. All right, should we click it? What do you think? Let's risk it. Oh, the 2021 roadmap. Okay, great video. Yeah, good call. Thank you, Cocoa type. See, awesome people out there in the community. And you should watch Cocoa type stream as well. By the way, he's awesome. You'll learn a lot. I know I do from watching him. All right. What doesn't it like? Let's go back and look. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry. Got to provide them there as well. All right. Because we've got a view, an instance of this view in here, it is going to expect to be able to populate it. It's a temporary thing. It'll be fine. It's not going to end up that way. That's for sure. So if I go back over to post content view, see what I was saying about putting these out into separate files is now I can just focus on that one view instead of all of them. And this is now a very, very simple bootstrapped up kind of get it started, broken into logical chunks for the application and the views. And yet, you know, we still have the same view, a little small, but we still got the same view, right? And then a lot of these views are going to work, will eventually work in the other platforms over here. So that's what we've got there, right? You know, we've come a long way in relatively short amount of time, covered a few different concepts. Hopefully this has been helpful to a lot of folks. I like doing a lot of these fresh start things for people who are, you know, looking to get into this and want to understand the basics and how do I even do simple things. Although this turned out to be a little more complicated than it should have been, but you know, that's because I forgot how to write Swift code because it's late and I'm just stupid today. So that's what that is there. All right. I think we're going to wrap it up here for the day, but just to remind you all, you know, same time next week, right? And also, don't forget, check out the schedule. Go to compileswift.live. On Wednesday nights, I do a Wednesday night my time here in the US. I do a Sprite Kit one for some game stuff that we're having fun with, which is turning out to be awesome and a lot of fun to deal with. So that's that one. Midweek, we do the game thing, writing games for iOS and so on. And then at the weekend, we do either Mac OS or iOS apps. So in the case of today, we're just going to cover all the platforms except for tvOS. So that's what we do here. Go to compileswift.com and reach out to me if you have any questions. To all the new people in the chat today on YouTube and on Twitch, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for choosing to spend time with us. You are more than welcome to come back here anytime. Reach out to me, compileswift@gmail.com if you want, and I will be only too happy to try and help you out as well. Coco Type says, Sprite Kit seems like an ideal setup for doing a tvOS app. Damn it. Gosh, he's right. Oh, I walked right into it, didn't I? I gotta, okay, folks, Nicholas, we gotta figure out a way to get Coco Type back for his next stream, right? Because he's right. That would be ideal for tvOS app. I guess we'll have to look at that now as well. At that point, I think we've covered all the platforms, haven't we, right? Unless we start writing stuff for AirPods and all of that. I think we covered them all. Oh, maybe one day AirTags. Maybe you'll have apps. Oh, Coco Type. You should do something with AirTags. There you go. Pressure's on now. That's it, folks. It's been a long one, couple of hours, but thank you all for hanging in there. Yeah, right, Nicholas? Like I say, if you reach out to me, I'll try and help you out. And catch you again in the stream next week. Thank you so much. Hope you have a wonderful week till we get together again. Maybe you'll drop by Wednesday night. Check it again. Compileswift.live is the live stream site. Compileswift.com is the main one, and all the networks, right? Social networks and stuff. That's it. Have a great apps for the Apple polishing cloth. Oh, yeah. $19 polishing cloth. Don't even get me started. That's it, folks. Have a great one. Thank you so much for hanging out. I got to go and do some other work now for some stuff. I'll see you in the week. Hope you have a great Monday. I'll see you then. Take care.